mama. So you want to be stylish, you want to be fashionable, but let's face it, you are a busy mom. Fashion, style, that's way down on the list of priorities. But what if it didn't have to be? What if you could incorporate style and fashion into your busy life? Welcome to the Busy Mom Fashion School. I'm going to lay out exactly how to do this, why to do it, and get you started right away. Welcome to Mom Mastery University, the education every mom should have had, but, well, didn't. I'm Hannah Keeley, America's #1 mom coach, and class is now in session. Hey, I'm so excited that you are here for another Mom Mastery University coaching series. This is the Busy Mom Fashion School, and I'm so excited to be doing this because I love fashion. I love style. It just does so many things for us. And the thing is, I remember when I was in the throes of early motherhood and style and fashion, it just wasn't even on the radar for me. It was like, okay, if it's clean or if it's somewhat clean, it just doesn't smell bad, I can wear it. And I found that when I forego the whole, sense of style and fashion, that my confidence and how I really showed up for life started to decrease as well. So I want to help you not just figure out how to pull outfits together. You have Pinterest, you have Google, you have all that, you have fashion influencers. You don't need, it's not like information you lack, but it's the transformation. How do I do the work so I can get my mind right? So now I can focus on my appearance in such a way to incorporate it into my busy life, but also to boost my confidence and how I show up. So that's what we're going to do today. Of course, I'm going to give you all the practical tips. I'm going to show you how to pull outfits together so quickly. I'm going to show you what looks right on your body and what you should avoid. But we're also going to dive into the mind, because you know how we do things inside Mom Mastery University, right? Everything is around that faith formula. We're going to change the way we think, because when we change the way we think, we're going to change how we feel. That results in changing what we do. And of course, that changes what we have. So we're going to have one stylish, one fashionable mama, right? But that all starts with getting right in our heads. So this is where we're going to discover your style. Okay, this is part 1 of a 3-part series inside the Busy Mom Fashion School. But I want to share some quotes that I love around fashion. So the first is by Vivienne Westwood, and it says this: "Fashion is very important. It is life enhancing, and like everything that gives pleasure, it is worth doing well." I love that, to say it's life enhancing. Fashion is a way to enhance your life. It enhances your confidence. It enhances your body, your personality. It enhances how you show up. And yes, it can enhance how you do motherhood and how you're a wife and how you're a woman and how you just show up. So it is life enhancing. Another one I love is Bill Cunningham said this: "Fashion is the armor to survive everyday life." Think about everyday life as a busy mom. You never know what you're going to wake up to. You never know what you're going to go to bed with. Is the kitchen going to be messy? Is it going to be clean? Is the house, bills going to be paid? You can go all over the place. A mom's life, I call it routine divergent, right? Routine typical is the lives of non-moms. They know when to get up. They know when they take their lunch break. They know when they have a meeting. They don't have to be super flexible. A mom, me and you, our lives are characterized by being routine divergent. We never know what the day's going to bring. And so everyday life for a busy mom looks so scattered and all over the place. So I love this quote because it is our armor. If we focus just a minute or two, I'm not going to make this long and drawn out. I'm going to show you how to pull stylish outfits together in 10 minutes or less in this program in the school. So we're going to get this right, because if you think about fashion being armor, right, it sets you up in a way that you're already predisposed for success. No matter how crazy your day gets, you've already established your state and how you're approaching that day, and it is so much more positive. Chances are you're going to get a better outcome, right? Okay, so let me tell you, fashion is for you. Okay, fashion is not for anything else. It's not for how you're going to show up on your social media. It's not for what turns on your spouse. It's not for, what everyone else is wearing and what's trending. Fashion is 100% for you. I want you to get that wired in, because we get stuck in these well, this is in this season and this is out this season. I don't want to wear this because it's not popular anymore. And this is, no, baby. Fashion's for you. You get to decide what makes you feel good and what enhances how you show up to the world. Okay, it doesn't have to be anyone else's style, anyone else's opinion. This is for you. All right, now 3 whys of fashion. Why do we even want to focus on this? You think about moms, we have so much to focus on: how to raise our kids right, how to be effective home managers, how to be healthy, how to be spiritually aligned with the heart of God, all these big concepts. Why are we wasting time talking about fashion? Maybe it's not a waste of time. So let's talk about why we're even talking about fashion. Number 1, it affirms your identity. Okay? It affirms your identity. We are always telling the world who we are by how we show up. We always are. I've always heard that you dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Now let's break that down for a busy mom. If we dress for the job we want, not for the job we have, what if you currently have the job of being a scattered, overwhelmed, frustrated, stressed out mom? Are you dressing for that job description? Maybe you are. Okay. But what if you want the job of being professional, of being active, of being positive, massively productive, super successful mom? What if you wanted to dress for that job? Would you be dressing the way you dress now? Or would you maybe spend just a little more time and attention to how you show up? Because we dress for the job we want, not the job we have. So if your goal is to be that master mom, which you're mastering life in all areas, your finances, your fitness, your fortress, your family, your faith, your freedom, you're mastering life in all areas, what would that master mom look like? What would she sound like? How would she walk in a room? What would she wear? That's dressing for the job that you want, because we are always telling the world who we are by how we show up. Now, I want you to think about that, because we tell the world by the words we say, by the habits we keep, also by the way we dress. You can't get around it. How you dress reveals a lot about what you believe about yourself. So number 1 reason, it affirms your identity. So what if you established your identity not as, an overwhelmed mom, not as a stay-at-home mom, not as a average mom, but what if you defined your identity as, are you ready for this? I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I am queen of my domain. What if you established that as your identity? I am queen of my domain. Would you still be wearing the faded leggings and the old frumpy sweatshirt? Maybe, maybe not. As queen of your domain, how would you show up for your home? How would you show up for your family? How would you show up for your career? How would you show up for the anointing and the appointing that God has over your life? Think about that. Okay, so understand this. You are God's temple, all right? Think about how, if you look in the Bible, of how God told Solomon to not just build the temple, but how to decorate it. He wasn't find some cheap fabric at Walmart and staple it on the wall. He's no, I want you to I want you to get the gold. I want you to get the silver. I want you to get rubies. I want you to get this type of wood. I've even appointed the craftsmen who could create all of this for the temple. So if he cares that much about designing the appearance of a temple in the old covenant, think about how much he delights in designing you as his temple in the new covenant. He doesn't want to skimp on things. He wants you to present yourself as his temple. It's not you. Your body is not your temple. Your body is God's temple. So how do we show off and reveal his glory and his majesty and how we show up? every single day of our lives. Okay, now that's reason number one. It affirms your identity. Okay, number two, it stimulates your creativity. So think about this. What if, now you might say, Hannah, there's not a creative bone in my body. I am not creative. That is a lie. You know how I know it's a lie? Because you are made in the image of your creator. And if you're made in the image of your creator, that means you are, by default, creative. You can't get out of it because you're made in his image. So therefore, it's a requirement. If I'm made in the image of a creator, I must be creative. So how that creativity is expressed, that is all different across the board. So no matter what, you are creative. Now, maybe you just forgot how to channel that creativity. Maybe it's just grown dormant over time. Because think about it, when you're having arts and crafts in a preschool, right? The kids aren't like, oh, I'm just not creative. They're doing something. They're expressing themselves with the glue and the paint and the glitter and the what, all the stuff. They're expressing something. So there is a spirit of creativity in you. Maybe it's just, like I said, gone dormant, and it's time to breathe some life into that creative spirit. So as a child, I bet you were a little more expressive with how you dressed yourself. Maybe not. I have one of my boys, he had a favorite t-shirt that he would, every time it was out of the wash, that boy would put it on. He probably wore it like 4 out of 7 days of the week. And when it smelled too bad, I had to put it in the wash. And then he'd be like, is it clean yet? Is it clean yet? And you know how it is with laundry. Was it like 5 to 7 business days before it's washed, dry, folded, and put away? And so he was expressive because he loved how this shirt made him feel. He loved how he showed up in it. I had one daughter who, I think she almost intentionally designed the most unmatched outfit. She would wear paisley leggings with a plaid top, with a polka dotted hat, with striped socks. Like, it didn't matter. Actually, that sounds like a pretty cool outfit. But she was always expressive in what she wore. I had kids who went through the whole emo phase and had the dark hair and the dark eyeliner. And I had kids that went through like the flower phase and dressed like, fairy princesses. And so we have to understand that creativity is something you do possess, and fashion allows you an outlet to be creative. We don't have to say, okay, I need to look like this. This is my outfit I pulled together. It can actually be like today, I was going to just wear like a sweater over this. I was like, I haven't worn this pink blazer in a long time. So I just threw it on today and wore it out to have some meetings and wore it here to do this recording. But it's just like, what kind of perks me up? How do I want to express myself? What have I not worn that I'm waiting to wear on a special day or special occasion? Girl, every day is a special occasion, especially when you're a child of God. So number 2, it stimulates your creativity. And number 3, it improves your state. Oh my gosh, for this reason alone, sister, for this reason alone, I would get up and get dressed and get going. Like I always say, just do these 3 things in the morning. Get up, get dressed, get going. Like if you can do those 3 things, you've already massively improved your state. And state is everything. Remember, it's not about our resources, it's about being resourceful. And if you're not operating in a resourceful state, everything's going to spiral down. Every opportunity is going to be closed door. Every trail you walk down is going to dwindle into nothing. So if you want positive results in your life, it all 100% depends. I just can't stress this enough. I've experienced being in a poor state. Poor meaning like non-resourceful, like, oh, I don't know, if it works out, it works out. I hope it does. And a resourceful state, which means everything is working for me. Everything is lining up for me. Praise God. It is all going to turn out amazing. Everything is working for my favor. If you step into that resourceful state, baby girl, things are going to change. Doors will be open on your behalf. You will walk down a path and it'll just open up before you. You will become a magnetic attraction with all the favor and the goodness and the gifts that God wants to pour into your life when you open up into a positive, resourceful state. So it improves your state. Does dressing better make you feel better? Think about it. Does dressing better make you feel better? 100%. It absolutely does. There is no question. Dressing better makes you feel better. The confidence, the power, the self-respect. Even research shows that we have peak performance when we show up confident in what we're wearing. Like there's a study that did all these, it studied like, was it casual Fridays, work performance in places that had casual Fridays, the work performance went down on that day. They also researched, there's another research project that I read about that, it was about 3 years ago, where they studied the confidence in how you're dressed with your overall work performance. And they found a positive correlation. The more confident you are in how you're dressed results in the better performance. So if you want to perform as a master mom, focus on this. Dress better, you feel better, you show up stronger, you're more resourceful, and things work in your favor. So think about what fashion could do to help you overcome some of the symptoms of mom brain. You know, I'm one of the top researchers of mom brain. It's a big thing that I do. I did a TEDx talk on mom brain makeover. If you want to Google that, it tells you a little bit about mom brain. But mom brain is real, okay? We do have anatomical and cognitive changes that happen in our brain when we have a baby. Now, some of those symptoms can be massively improved upon when you dress better. So think about this. Here's one symptom: being unfocused and highly distracted. A symptom of mom brain, yes? Absolutely. Okay, you've probably already been distracted about 4 times just in this part 1 of this coaching series, but we're highly distracted. Now, think about when you are dressed confidently, head to toe, right? You dress good, you look good, you show up more powerful. Is that going to help you maintain your focus? Probably so, because you've shown up in a more powerful state, so you're not going to be as easily distracted. Now, another symptom of mom brain is very unstructured life. That's that whole routine, divergent life we're talking about. It's not so much a characteristic of mom brain as is a characteristic of mom life. So that routine divergency where we're scattered and things are popping up all over the place and we're like running from one fire to the next fire, right? Think about, can dressing well help you show up and help you overcome that kind of scattered routine divergency? 100%. Because think about it, you will start having routines. My PM routine, I always talk about those bookends, right? If you don't have your bookend routines, your AM routine and your PM routine, those books, which are all the things that you do with your life in a day, are going to be scattered all over the place. We need those bookends in your day so your day can be more productive. So what do we do PM the night before? We're going to lay out the clothes you're going to wear. That's going to be what we do. Lay out the outfit you're going to wear the next day, down to jewelry, down to everything. AM routine, we're going to get up, we're going to get dressed, we're going to get going. So just having those routines in place are going to give you structure, and it's all based around how you show up, preparing for how to get dressed and then getting dressed in the morning. So those routines are going to help you show up so much more structured with your day. Now, another characteristic is the negative cognitive bias. Now, what do I mean by negative cognitive bias? It's that inner voice in the mom brain that says, nothing's going to turn out right. I'm a failure. I'm a loser. I never finish what I start. I'm such a bad mom. Like, you just fill in the blank because you already know, like, if you had a megaphone attached to your mom brain, the noise and the dialogue that it would blast out to this world would make you cringe. But we hear it and we're not even like conscious of it. So think about that. If we could, what can we do to really curb that negative cognitive bias? Get dressed. When you dress well and you show up for the day, you will be less likely to have that negative cognitive bias because you've like nurtured yourself. You focused on yourself. You improved your state. You have declared by getting up and getting dressed that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you can show up strong. That's already going to contradict all that negative cognitive bias that can potentially go on in your head. So beautiful reason to get up and get dressed. Now, another thing is low energy, right? With mom brain, we often, because we're always making decisions, this thing happens in our brain called decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is, for mom, it happens so much earlier. Like Usually we have enough like brain juice, this glucose really, brain juice to carry us through all day long. But for a mom, because our lives are so crazy, we're always making decisions. Our brains literally run out of glucose and they get tired by like 5 p.m. That's when we start making not so good decisions. Let me scream at the kids. Let me binge eat a platter of nachos. Let me just leave all this mess in the kitchen for the next day. That's when we start making poor decisions, when we have decision fatigue. So getting up, getting dressed, getting going is going to help you have less decision fatigue because you made a positive decision in the early morning. As soon as you got out of bed, you made a positive decision, which now predisposes you to make more and more and more positive decisions. So cool. You're going to be able to like keep going until the evening, right? In a positive way because you started in a positive way. Now, the last thing characteristic of the mom brain is we are reactive instead of proactive. So reactive is kind of like that knee-jerk response, right? A kid spills something and you yell. There's, a bunch of laundry all over the place and you get frustrated, right? And so we're very reactive. That's one of the symptoms of mom brain. So being intentional in the morning and getting up and getting dressed and preparing for the day and showing up for the day, that has already set up a pattern of being proactive. So once you start a pattern, really the hardest thing about a pattern is just starting it. So once you start the pattern in the morning, I'm going to be dressed. I'm going to put my best face forward. I'm going to show up strong. You already said to the day, I am proactive. I'm not reactive. All right. So I want you to think about that. What does reactive look like? It looks like a baby's crying and it wakes you up and you have to run to the baby. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I didn't get like lunches ready. So you're now running to get lunches. And then you forgot to put a lotus. So now you saw the laundry. Now you shoved it in the washer. You started the day in reactive mode. That sets up a pattern of reactivity throughout the entire day. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you're overwhelmed. That's why you're stressed out. But what if you set an alarm, you get up and you decide, I'm going to have my AM routine. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to get dressed head to toe. I'm going to show up strong. Now that pattern is more likely to continue. So there's so many reasons, right? So many reasons why fashion can be an important and I would say a vital part of a master mom's life. Now, in part 2 and 3, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of how to pull this all together, right? In a way that looks great on you, where you feel confident and where it's not convoluted. You can get ready in less than 10 minutes. I'm going to show you all of that in parts 2 and 3. Now, this is just part of it. Make sure you get inside Mom Master University. Make sure you show up and do the work. I'm going to lay out some things that are going to help you work with your thoughts around really preparing for the day and incorporating fashion into your life. It's great work, guys. So make sure you go do the work. So what about you, Mama? Are you ready to enroll in the only school that will not only change your life, but also your legacy? Go to Mom Mastery University, where we dive deep into the biblical principles that give ordinary moms extraordinary results. Get enrolled today.